The woman charged with abusing 2 children whose remains were found dumped in Alabama and Mississippi made an appearance in court.
We learned today that Heather Keaton is being represented by an attorney from Birmingham. Fox 10 News reporter Derica Williams was in court today to find out what's next.
Handcuffed and dressed in a brown jumpsuit, Heather Keaton was guided into the courtroom by a deputy. The 22-year-old suspect stood before Judge Charles McKnight, who granted the state's bond request.
The bond amount in the cases, the aggravated child abuse cases, are $100,000. Of that amount, $25,000 is a cash bond and $75,000 of that is corporate surety. That's in each case. And then in the aggravated abuse of a corpse case, the bond amount was $3,000 in each.
Keaton is facing 2 charges of aggravated child abuse and 2 charges of abuse of a corpse. The bodies, believed to be her stepchildren, 5-year-old Natalie DeBlaise and 3-year-old Jonathan, were recently found in Citronelle and Van Cleve, Mississippi. Keaton's attorney from Birmingham, Daryl Bender, was not present in court. However, he says he's aware those charges could eventually be upgraded to murder. Keaton's family retained him over the weekend. Judge McKnight entered a not guilty plea on her behalf.
Well, the not guilty plea obviously is the absolute correct thing to do at this point. I think to this point, Mr. DeBlaise has sort of suggested that she killed these kids or had something to do with it. I think based on what I know to this point, we totally disagree with that.
The children's father, John DeBlaise, is jailed, charged with felony murder. Bender says he hopes Keaton's charges are not upgraded, but there's always a possibility. He maintains her innocence.
Based on what I understand to this point, her role in that would have been absolute zero in the children's death or disposing of the bodies. Her involvement in that would have been absolute zero, and her knowledge of it, I think, is close to zero.
Keaton is also said to be visually impaired.
Heather is legally blind. She can see figures. She can see a little better in certain lighted conditions.
It's still too early to tell what strategy or arguments the defense will use. As for the DA's office,
we will prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law.
Reporting from Mobile, Derica Williams, Fox 10 News.
Daryl Bender, the attorney there, plans to come to Mobile to meet with his client. Both DeBlaise and Keaton will have preliminary hearings on January 4th.